Have you ever just felt different? Like your brain is running on a totally different operating system than everyone else's? Well, if you've ever felt a little out of sync with the world, this is for you. We're going to dive into what psychology says that really means.
You know that feeling, right? You're the one who spots the tiny detail no one else does. You see the connections, the patterns, the deeper meaning behind things. It can sometimes feel like you're tuned into a frequency that other people just can't hear.
And let's be honest, in a world that loves quick, simple answers, always digging deeper can feel like a bug, not a feature. But what if it's the exact opposite? What if those things that make you feel different are actually signs of a mind that's built for incredible depth?
Okay, let's start with the engine room of your mind, your inner processing power. This is all about how your brain is constantly building a richer, more detailed reality than what most people experience.
First up is the big one. People probably call you an overthinker, but what's really going on under the hood is something psychologists call cognitive hyperconnectivity. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty cool.
So what does that actually mean? It just means your brain is a natural-born connection-making machine. It can't just take things at face value. It has this unstoppable drive to look at every single angle, every variable, and every possible outcome to build the full high-definition picture.
And here's the key takeaway. This isn't fueled by worry or anxiety. It's just how your brain is built. It's not a flaw in your system. It's the system working exactly as it's supposed to, creating a deeper, richer understanding of everything around you.
Okay, this next one might hit a little close to home for some of us. People look at your desk and see total chaos, but the reality is often a sign of a super efficient system called selective organization.
And this is just so true, isn't it? Your brain doesn't want to waste energy on stuff that doesn't matter. So, yeah, your desk might look like a disaster zone, but your Google Drive is probably a military-grade filing system. Why? Because you're prioritizing your mental energy on what's truly important, your ideas.
All right, here's another habit that gets labeled weird. But if you catch yourself talking a problem out, you're not going nuts. You're actually using a really sophisticated cognitive tool. It's called verbal reasoning.
Think about it. When you talk your thoughts out, you're basically giving them structure. You're turning a tangled mess of ideas inside your head into a logical sequence of words, which helps you solve problems way faster.
So just take a second and think about that. When you're really wrestling with a tough problem, do you start muttering to yourself? If you do, that's not weirdness. That's your brain kicking into high gear.
Now, this different way of processing the world, it naturally spills over into how you interact with people. A high-level mind doesn't just think differently, it connects differently too.
So, maybe you have a small circle of really close friends. It's so easy for others, or even yourself, to label that as being antisocial. But what's really going on is that you have a high trust threshold. You're all about quality, not quantity. And here's why. For a mind that's constantly seeking depth and connection, small talk can feel physically draining. It's like static noise. It's not about being rude. It's about saving your social battery for the conversations that actually matter.
Along those same lines, if you're the quiet one in a group, it's probably not because you're shy or have nothing to say, it's because you're in a mode of active observation. It's a power move, actually.
See, while everyone else is talking, you're collecting data. You're listening to the tone of voice, reading the body language, and figuring out the real emotions behind the words. You're not just hearing what's said, you're understanding why it's said. So when you finally do speak, it has way more impact.
Okay, so we've looked at how you process information and how you connect with people. Now let's get down to the very foundation, your mind's core operating system. These are the principles that really define true intelligence.
Trait number 6 is one that almost no one realizes is a sign of intelligence. So many people get stuck in cognitive rigidity, seeing everything as black or white, right or wrong. But a high-level mind thrives in the gray areas. It's called cognitive flexibility, and it's the ability to embrace nuance and even hold two opposing ideas in your head at the same time.
And for our last trait, get ready for a fascinating paradox. We all know about the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Where the less you know, the more you think you know. Well, the sign of a truly advanced mind is the polar opposite, intellectual humility. It's that deep, gut-level awareness of just how much you don't know.
So that little voice of self-doubt you might have, that's not a weakness. It's actually the engine of your curiosity. It's the very thing that pushes you to ask more questions, to learn more, and to never ever be satisfied with a simple answer. So, when you pull all of these signs together, the hyperconnectivity, the selective organization, the deep craving for meaning, what does it all add up to? It means your mind has a genuine superpower. It sees the world in high definition. I love this analogy. Think of it like a camera lens. Most people's minds are like a point-and-shoot, taking quick, surface-level snapshots. But your mind? It's like a high-end lens with a deep depth of field. Sure, it might take a little longer to focus, but that's because it's capturing everything. The foreground, the background, every tiny detail. And the final picture it creates is just so much richer and more meaningful.
And look, it's really important for you to know that these aren't just feel-good ideas we pulled off the internet. To put this all together, we dug into academic studies and psychology research, and we even used NotebookLM to help us organize all our sources and find the key insights. We wanted to make sure everything you're hearing is grounded in real psychology.
So let's just be really clear. You're not weird. You're not too much. You're not an overthinker. You just see more. Your mind operates at a higher resolution. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with that amazing vision?